dancing with the shadows on the bedroom wall. Silhouettes of memories that I can't recall. Trying to be ready for the call, trying not to fall, ready for the landfall. Rolling way too slow to win this human race. Gotta travel light through this desirable maze. The miles are leaving traces on my face, signs of falling grace, filling up the empty space. But heaven knows I'm getting so much better every day. Yeah, baby, can't you see? It's easy as ABC. We will carry one another on this path, yeah. Even though my feet are barely finding solid ground, I'm getting much closer now. We'll find a way somehow. We will bear one another to the landfall, until the landfall. We're rolling way too fast to just enjoy the ride. Feeling too much hunger to stay bona fide. Lonely in a crowd we abide, petrified we could be unified. But heaven knows I'm getting so much better every day. Yeah, baby, can't you see? It's easy as ABC. We will carry one another on this path, yeah. Even though my feet are barely finding solid ground, I'm getting much closer now. We'll find a way somehow. We will bear one another to the landfall, until the landfall. I'm dancing with the shadows on the bedroom wall. Silhouettes of memories that I can't recall. Trying to be ready for the call, trying not to fall, ready for the landfall. Rolling way too slow to win this human race. Gotta travel light through this desirable maze. The miles are leaving traces on my face, signs of falling grace, filling up the empty space. But heaven knows I'm getting so
Let's make routines, not resolutions. Happy New Year! Hi, everybody. I am glad that you are here, and it's good to be back doing our yoga together. It's the new year. Establish good routines. Get into the habit daily of doing your yoga, and let me encourage you and guide you. We can do this. We can do this together. All you gotta do is show up. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. That's Bonnie. Dwayne's doing the cameras. And most importantly, this is your yoga for life. You're gonna do this for life. You're gonna do it from the privacy of your own homes. It's a 1 hour long practice. If you can just stick around for 10 minutes, that's fine too. Every day, we do this live. We do this live and we don't do cuts, we don't edit, we don't do whatever. It's just like a real live class, just like a real live class that you would go to at your gym or your community center, but it's in the privacy of your own home. The benefit is you don't have to drive anywhere, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to wear anything special, you don't have to be intimidated, and you just do the things you want to do and feel good in your body. That's it. So make it work for you. We come to you live every day into your space. Check us out. Each of our practices is different every single day. It's different. Some you may find harder than others, but I guarantee you that you can do every single one of them because you modify it. You modify it to make it work for you. You do what is right for your body. You just got to start somewhere, right? So do what is right for your body. Don't hurt. If something hurts, back out of it. Modify the poses and just let the rest go. It doesn't have to look like anything. Nobody is next to you doing a handstand and doing crazy things that you can't do. You're doing it your way. Just move your body, let go of expectations, and let go of pressure. It's a no intimidation zone. Keep it safe. All right, so that's my pep talk for the new year. Just get with it. Do it. Word to think about today is the word start. Oh my gosh, you got to start. You got to begin. You got to begin somewhere. You got to set out on that journey. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with that first footstep, right? So get out there and do. Let us believe in transformation and make yourself better. All right, that's it. Props. You're going to use our usual props for practice. I'm going to start with the eye shade, my favorite part. An eye shade to cover your eyes in final shavasana. Best pose of the practice. A little hand towel to double as that eye shade if you don't have one yet. And you can also slip it under your knees for when we do our lunge. Maybe that feels good. 2 yoga blocks are wonderful. Buy them, get them, find them, make them work for you, and make your practice more doable. A strap, you might want to use that. If you don't have that, a belt from your robe or a dog leash or a jump rope would work. Some water to drink. You got it. That's all the stuff you need. One of the things we do every day is we lock in a stress number before we begin. Think on a scale of 1 to 5, like when you go to the doctor's office, smiley face to frowny face. Give it a number. 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you now in your body? Be near a wall so I can show you some balancing practices there, and let's start. Come on up to a standing position. You've got your stress number locked in. Don't overthink it. If this is your first yoga class or over 1,000th yoga class, it's all good. Look at it fresh. Start the new year. And let's begin. First thing we want to do is we want to be confident. We want to believe in ourselves. Spread your feet a little wider than hip width distance. Place your hands on your hips. Strike that confidence pose. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit. Throw them back and down. Root into your feet. Hold onto your waist. And let's start with our foundation. A very good place to start. So come on up onto your toes. You could have a chair here as well. You could have the chair for balance. You could be next to your wall for balance. But just try to come up onto your toes. All right, you can do this. You can totally do this. We're waking up our calves, waking up our ankles, strengthening our foundation. All right, you can do it. I promise you can. I'm no spring chicken, no surprise, right? When did that happen? But I do want to feel like a spring chicken. I do want to feel good. I want to be able to move in my life, and I want to be able to move well for as long as I can. You're probably thinking the same thing. This is the practice for you. Keep coming up on your toes. Every once in a while, come down onto your heels and let your toes lift and give them a wiggle. Then go back to it. Maybe press up higher. Maybe hold when you're up there. Try to keep your heels behind your ankles as you encourage alignment and stability. Breathe in deeply through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. Let the stress go. Most of you know I'm a registered yoga teacher. I hold certifications in barre, in Pilates, and older adult fitness, and a couple other things. I certainly can't do all of these pretzel-y poses. You probably can't either, but I try. And you just make it work for you. You modify. Let it feel good. try, and I promise you that it's going to work for you. All right. When you're ready, come on down. Come on down, root into your feet. Your calves feeling it? I bet they are. Let's do a forward fold. Bring your feet together a little bit. Bring your hands, fold forward, bring your arms down. Let them hang heavily. Look back to your knees. Put a little bend in your knees. Take this forward fold. Imagine your head is heavy. It is heavy. You don't have to imagine it. But go ahead and turn your head. Shake your head. Loosen up. A little bend in your knees feels good. Try it. Maybe put a deeper bend in your knees. Shake your head. Let it be. This is your forward fold. When you're ready, slowly come on up. Stack one vertebra at a time. Chin to your chest until you come up to standing, and then bring your chin away from your chest. Place your hands on your low back, fingers down. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Look forward, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, and push your hips forward as you take a little back bend. Look up, up, up to the sky. Soften in your glutes. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Look up as high as you want. There's your little baby back bend. When you're ready, come on up to standing. Put a little bend in your knees and do some big arm circles. Arms up and down, arm circles, moving the shoulders. Breathe. Bend in the knees, fingers lift, breathe, arm circles. You're waking up your knees. Hello, Liz. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Stan. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Marietta. Hi, Ginger. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Betty. Hi, Lori. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Rena. Hi, Tim. Hi, Steve. Hi, Roger. Good job, you guys. No resolutions, just routines, right? And you know what? Maybe you only do this for 10 minutes, just a little warm up. Take your arm circles in the other direction. Maybe you just do a little bit. That's okay. It's all good. Just move that one and only wonderful body of yours. Breathe. And don't criticize yourself. Don't say, it's not so wonderful. Yes, it is, because it's yours. You got it. All right, arm circles. How you doing? Bigger bends in the knees. Finish up. Come on up to standing. Let your shoulders rest. Close your eyes if you can. Take a big breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Remember, in through the nose, out through the mouth for now. Lift your arms up, up, up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, palms up to the sky. Palm tree pose. I love this one. Bend sideways. Bend in the elbows if you want. Push through the palms of your hands. Here you are in your palm tree pose. All right. Think about this for a second. I've got a good girlfriend, and she says, I can't do your yoga because I can't even touch my toes. Okay, so what? If you can't touch your toes, no big deal. But think of this too. If you can't touch your toes today and you don't want to move because you can't touch your toes, what's it going to be like tomorrow or next year or 3 years or 5 years from now? You got to get out, you got to move, you got to do. Breathe. And if you do nothing, it's not going to be good. Get moving. All right, come back to the midline of your body. Lengthen up. Bend your elbows. Place your fingers lightly at your temples and squeeze your elbows to the back of the room. Look up, look forward, root into the earth. Nice tight squeeze in your upper shoulders. Big breath in. Big breath out. Release your hands down by your sides, shoulders up by your ears and back toward the back wall and then down. Stand up nice and straight. Good posture. You've got it and we're working on it. Okay, get comfortable in your feet and do that big coat swing. Sway from side to side. Look over one shoulder then the other. Get that twist going on in your waist. Arms are heavy down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Look back as far as you can look back. Or maybe you want to challenge your balance. To do that, you would close your eyes and sway. And you know what? Take the twist as big as you like. And don't criticize yourself. And don't say, I just can't. Because yes, you can. And you are. Whatever you're doing, it's great. Slow it on down. Finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. Favorite pose. Everybody loves Ragdoll. I think they do. Let me know if you like Ragdoll. Let me know. Send me a thumbs up. Let me know. All right. So feet about hip width distance apart. Hinge forward. As you hinge forward, remember that forward fold we did earlier? Look back to your knees. Little bend in the knees. Whew. Whew, that's going to save me today. Take your hands, place them at opposite elbow creases. Let your heavy head hang toward the earth. Gently begin to sway, elbow toward knee, then the other elbow toward the other knee. This is your ragdoll pose. It loosens up any tension in your low back. And oh my goodness, don't we all have tension in the low back? Take some breaths here, in through the nose, sigh out the tension through the mouth, and just let this feel good for a moment. Sway back and forth. Feel what you feel. That's real important. Breathe. Think of the tension coming out of the low back. You're decompressing your low back. As you sit at your desk or your table or in a car for way too long, we all do it. We're all guilty. Every once in a while, get up and do your ragdoll pose. You will feel better for it. Finish up now and bring your arms back to the midline of your body. You can keep your hands right where they are, or you can release your fingertips to the earth, but lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. When you're ready, hands come down to your mat, bend your knees, and let's come into a child's pose. Your body's warmed up. Now let's get into your thinker. All right, bring your blocks perhaps to the top of your mat. We'll do child's pose. You know this one. It's where we just get into our space on our mat, all alone, enjoying and appreciating this quiet time. You can keep your knees together and big toes can touch. Your hips can go back toward your heels, or maybe they sit on it. It doesn't have to. Just get them back there. This is a big bend in your knees. Maybe a towel under the knees feels good. In this classic child's pose, you can use a block. Think of the block as bringing the ground up to you. Place your head on your block if you like. And arms down by your sides with your palms face up, shoulders away from the ears. This is your classic child's pose. I like a wide-legged child's pose, just a variation. I'm going to take that. Spread my knees wide, big toes still touch, hips still go back toward my heels. Head can still rest on the block, or I'm going to put my two blocks at the top of my mat and place my hands on them. If you have no blocks, or you don't want to use them, just place your palms on the mat and reach your fingertips to the top of your mat. Settle in here. Settle in. Let the outside world go. You're going to focus on you this year. You're going to focus on all the goodness within you. As you focus inward, you're going to make yourself better for all those around you. But most importantly, living the best life that you can live. Soften your jaws, soften in your face. Now in either pose, classic or this extended child's pose, you know what's going on. First of all, your spine is lengthening because your forehead is down on your block or your mat. Your tailbone is going to the back of your room as your spine is getting long and decompressing. The bend in your knees, oh, you feel that. Nice stretch in the quadriceps and the ankles. The ankles are getting this nice stretch like we do in our ankle pose. Big breath in. Big sighing breath out. Let all the tension go. Last year is in the books. Forget about it. Let's press forward and become the best we can be. You can turn your head left to right if you like. Massage your forehead into your mat. In this extended child's pose, the shoulders are getting a nice stretch. In the classic child's pose, you're reaching your fingers toward the bottom of your mat, getting the shoulders away from the ears. It's all good stretches. You do what works for you. Still your head. Bring it back to the midline of your body. Settle in a little deeper into your mat. Feel what you feel. Now close your lips. And breathe in and out of your nose only, if it works. If you don't like it, just remember to breathe deeply. Shallow breath indicates that you're working too hard and you're stressing out. Come back to your deep breaths. Big breath in. Big breath out. Child's pose, come back to it anytime you like, or stay here longer if it's speaking to you. You are your own best teacher. I'm just here to guide you and encourage you. You do what works for you. I'm going to come on out of this child's pose and come into a neutral tabletop. For a neutral tabletop, your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. Press hard into the ground. We are going to do some cat-cow. All right, so you're pressing hard into the earth, not only with your hands, fingers spread wide, but with the tops of your feet too. Push into your feet so much that you can kind of feel your belly tuck. All right, breathe. Nice flat back. Think of one straight line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. For cat-cow pose, it's a complementary pose where in cat, when you exhale, you tuck your chin to your chest and tuck your tailbone under. Press into the earth, arch your back up to the sky. Here's your cat pose. As you inhale, cow pose, the complementary pose, tailbone lifts and the crown of your head lifts to the sky. Do a couple cat-cows to your pace of breath. Exhale, cat. Kind of think of tucking your belly button to your spine. Inhale, cow. Tailbone and crown of the head go up to the sky. So think of the movement that this is doing for your spine. Breathe. Remember to breathe through it. Breathe. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Oh, it feels really good. Move your spine. All right, let's move that tailbone some more. Come back to your neutral tabletop position. In this neutral tabletop position, let's take our right leg and extend it long. Press the ball of the foot into the earth. Stretch out that calf like we did earlier in that confident stance when we came up on our toes. Stretch out the calf. Now this right leg, the one that's extended, lift it up and cross it over the midline of your body. Squeeze high in the upper inner thighs. Place the ball of the right foot down on the earth. Look over your left shoulder. So a nice lateral sideways flexion of the spine. Look back to your foot, your knee, whatever you can see. Push hard into the earth, breathe. And then bring it back to the midline and bring the right knee to meet the left. Left leg extends, ball of the foot presses into the earth. Press, press, press. Breathe, take your time. The yoga works wonders in your body if you just believe in the transformation. And you just show up, just do it. All right, lift the leg up, cross the midline of the body. Foot comes down on the opposite side. Look over your right shoulder now. Breathe, 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 breathe. And just know, one of my favorite quotes is from C.S. Lewis. He says, know, absolutely know that there are better things ahead than the things you're leaving behind. So new year ahead, all good things. All right, bring the knees back to meet, around a cat-cow to even things out. Chin to your chest, tailbone under, back arches. Inhale, cow. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Let's do bird dog pose. Take it in layers. All right, this is a harder pose than you think. Okay, but you can do it because you take it in layers. Lift your right leg up. Up, 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 knee to about hip height. Dial the right hip down, push into the earth, straighten the right leg, drive the heel to the back of your room. Press into the earth, hold it here, you've got it. Now we're gonna challenge our balance by adding in our left arm. You can take your block that's at the top of your mat, and you can set it up higher. You can put your extended left arm onto it. Lift the leg to hip height, reach the arm to the block, or no block at all, reach the arm away from the block toward the front of the room. I like spreading my fingers wide, sending my thumb up high to the sky, reach and press and hold. There are layers we take with this, but not today. We're easing into the new year. Hand comes down, knee comes down. What do you think? That's a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Other side, let's do it again. Another chance to succeed. Lift the left leg up, knee to hip height. Maybe that's where you stay. Left leg extends, drive through the heel. So know that you are strengthening your spine here, especially your low back. Do you feel it? It feels pretty good, I hope. All right, add in the right arm. Reach to the block if you want to use that, or reach to the front of the room. Finger high, thumb high like a hitchhiker. Spread the fingers, lift, reach, stretch, and extend. You're pushing into the earth with your foundational limbs. You're reaching and extending through your fingers and your heel. Hold it. Lengthen to strengthen. Spine is long, you're strong, you got it. Hand comes down, knee comes down. How are you doing? I hope you're having fun. Let's spread our knees extra, extra wide. Big toes touch. This is the wide-legged child's pose. If you didn't do it before, here's your chance to do it now. So hips back to your heels. Reach your arms long to the top of your mat. Sink your chest down to your block or your mat. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's come out of the pose. Slide your arms back to under your hands. Tuck your toes under your shins. Let's come into a toes pose. All right, come into a toes pose either with a block or with no block at all. I'm going to sit on my heels today. If you would like to sit on the block, place it behind your bottom and have a seat. So wherever you are, be at peace. Be at peace. So you're stretching out your feet. Don't you feel it? It's pretty intense. If it hurts, come out of it. You don't want to do anything that hurts you. If it's just uncomfortable, that's the challenge. Breathe through it. Hands to prayer center. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Soften up. All right. Do you know the Serenity Prayer? This fits so beautifully for so many things we're going to do this year, all of us in our lives. But it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So important, isn't it? All right, what do you want to change this year? What do you want to change? Maybe it's your fitness. Maybe it's how you feel in your head. Your yoga will help with that too. Maybe you want more flexibility and mobility. It's all here. You can do it. Have the courage to change the things you can. You can do it. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. That is your toes pose, stretching out the fascia in your feet, strengthening your foundation. Let's take it to our counter pose. Flip your feet. So the tops of your feet are on your mat and have a seat back on your heels now. You can use your blocks as balance and lean on back into your ankles. So think of the complementary pose here. You know, cat-cow, that's a complementary pose, moving to one extreme than the other. Same thing with this ankle pose and toes pose. And now you're strengthening your ankles. Take a deep breath in. Live in the moment. Enjoy the moment. And breathe. All right, so here's the deal. The statistic is, or the percentage is 87% of women, 87% of people over the age of 60, 87% have foot problems. And most of those are women, I guess from wearing high heels and the crazy shoes we squeeze our feet into. 87% of people over 60 have foot trouble. Don't be part of that. Work on your toes pose and your ankle pose to strengthen your feet, to have better coordination, to have better stability, and that helps you with falling too. You can catch yourself before you fall because your ankles, your feet are strong. You've got a strong foundation. How far do you want to take this back? Maybe press into your fingers and take it even farther if it feels okay. Find what works for you. Breathe. All right, let's come out of it now. Come back, knees come back down, hands to your mat. Neutral tabletop, remember that one. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes, circle the ankles in both directions, and then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. You got it. All right, let's do a plank. We're not gonna do a long plank today at all. That's gonna come later in the week. But work on your planks because they build strength in your entire body. Lots of ways you can do them. You can spread your knees wide, walk your hands a little more forward, hands are shoulder width distance. Hinge your weight forward and hold right here. This is fine. Another variation would be to slip down to your forearms, elbow under shoulders. Adjust your legs. Everybody's height is different. Elbows under your shoulders, hands spread wide, strong foundation in your forearms, and hold it here as you hinge the weight a little more forward so you feel the strengthening in your belly. Another variation would be to send your legs long and press on up into a dolphin plank. Another option would be high plank, pressing into your hands, shoulders over wrists, legs long, and holding here. Take a variation that you like, and let's just take a long cycle of breath. That's all we're doing today. Breathe in deeply, push the earth away, and breathe out deeply. Press the earth away. You're strong, stay strong, lengthen, strengthen, everything's tight, you're holding it. Let's come on down to our knees. So that is a plank. We do whatever variation of plank you like pretty much every day. I oftentimes set a timer for 1 minute so you can measure incrementally how you're improving. And you will improve, but you got to show up to improve. All right, come on down. How do you feel already? How do you feel in your head? How do you feel in your body? I pretty much guarantee you're feeling better already. The blood's moving and you are challenging yourself, and that's always good. Let's do a reclined goddess. All right, soles of the feet touch, knees open wide, hands to prayer center, always a good place to be. Slowly recline. Maybe today it's not so slowly. That's all right. Come on down. Back is on your mat. Hike your heels up closer to your groin if that feels good. Release your palms from each other and goal post your arms. Bring your triceps, the backs of your upper arm, down to the mat. Bring your forearms parallel to the sides of your mat so your arms look like a goalpost or a cactus. Backs of your hands are on your mat. Whew. Breathe in your reclined goddess. Big breath in and big breath out. You're using the ground to work on your posture. Shoulders are back. Breathe. If you want, let's do those Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. So bend your elbows even more, bringing your fingertips lightly to your temples. Keep the elbows open wide, knees open wide too, chin up toward the sky. And as you exhale, little teeny lifts of the chin up and then come on down. Lift and lower. As best you can. Don't sweat it. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Breathe. We do this a lot of days of the week too. Sometimes we lift on up, chin up to the sky, and pulse. Pulse the chin up to the sky. Oh, those little pulses we borrow from a bar practice. My goodness, pulses. Oh. All right, so maybe you're enjoying that. Elbows still open wide, knees open wide. Let's come on down, all the way down. All right, working the low abs. You can't isolate anything really though. You're working lots of things, but supposedly the focus is on the low abs there. Those are your Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Maybe you're still in goddess. It's all good. Stay there if you like. Let's go into bicycle now. Let's do it in layers. Bring your knees together at the midline of your body. You opened up those adductor muscles inside your thighs in that pose. Ooh, you held it for a long time because you went from goddess to Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Feeling good, feeling strong, aren't we? Soles of the feet on your mat. Knees hip-width distance apart. Bicycle, lots of layers. You know what feels good for you. Maybe you bring the fingertips lightly to your temples. Exhale, peel on up. Work the left elbow toward the right knee and then the right elbow toward the left knee and alternate. Little twists here. Aren't you glad we warmed up with that big coat swing? So you can do this little twist. How does that feel? An option is keep your shoulders down, fingers lightly at your temples. Bring your knees up over your hips. Drive through the heel as if you were riding a recumbent bicycle. Your low back stays plugged in and down. Shoulders are down. You're driving through your heels. Another option, let's put it all together. Peel your shoulders up. Keep bicycling. Left elbow toward right knee and right elbow toward left knee. There you are, riding your bicycle. Breathe. Another option. Scissor kick. Legs extend long. One leg goes up to the sky, other leg extends toward the earth. Do your scissor kick if that's what you want. You do what you can do with what you've got in this moment. That is your bicycle for today. Come on down. Stick pose, one of my favorites. Legs go long. Arms go high overhead. Reach. Reach with all you got. Point your toes. Reach your fingers. Oh, stretch it out. You look like a big number one. Breathe. Oh, feels good. Big pose, boat pose. Navasana is what it's called. Lots of ways to take it. Today, maybe you use your strap. Maybe you take it on your forearms. To take it on your forearms, I'll do it all three different ways. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Forearms on your mat. Maybe lift one leg up, or the other, or both, and hold. Maybe lift them higher, higher, higher. You decide and hold. Breathe. Find the sweet spot where it feels right for you. Another variation of boat would be to take your strap. Maybe you want to do that. Bring your soles of your feet, the strap to the soles of your feet. Lean on back like you're in a recliner. Don't slouch. Lift out of your chest. Back is flat. And then maybe pulling onto the straps like reins of a horse, hugging the elbows in. Drive through your heels and lean on back. There's your boat pose. Another variation. We'll do this one tomorrow too in our vinyasa practice. Hands can come behind your thighs. Lean on back into that recliner. Lift one foot or the other and hold here. Breathe. Leaning back is the ticket. Think you're on a beach tropical vacation. How's that? With a pina colada. Or no, this is dry January, right? All right, hold. Reach your fingers toward the front of the room. Reach your fingers up toward the sky. Do what you can with what you got. Be happy with what you got. Enjoy your pose your way. That's the ticket. Do it your way. All right, finish. Feet come down. Let's come into a lunge now. Using the blocks. Come on to standing on your knees. Standing on your knees. Blocks at a high height beside you. All right, so here's the deal. You might want to use your towel too to slip it under your knee if your knees don't like this. What you can do, press into the blocks. I'm going to send my right foot forward, right knee over right ankle. Then I'm going to send my left leg super long on the mat. Top of the left foot on the mat. Don't you feel it in your left hip flexor? All right, stretching it out, so important. Press your hands into your blocks. Knee over the ankle. Maybe you lift your chest up a little bit higher and you're holding on to those blocks. Let your left leg be super long, top of the foot on the mat. Maybe you press up to your fingertips. If you like that, stay here. You're just increasing the depth of that stretch in your left hip flexor. If you don't like it, peel it back a layer. Go back to where you were, where it feels right. Maybe you bring your shoulders over your hips and you lift your arms up to the sky. Look to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look up overhead and take a little baby back bend. Peel back the layers to where you're comfortable and eventually work yourself so your hands are at prayer center. Let's go surfing. Kind of fun. All right, hands back to the block. Right leg, start with it. Straighten it. And send your bottom back toward your hips. And then walk it forward using the blocks. You can allow your knee to come forward of the ankle in this pose. Straighten it and go forward. All right, if it's feeling all right, maybe walk with the blocks back even farther and come to sit on your left heel. Walk it forward with those blocks and enjoy the good stretch in this left hip. And you're working your knees too. If you want, you can ditch the blocks, hands to prayer center. Using your strong core, press on up and continue to surf here. And you know what you can do too is when you're surfing forward and that knee is forward to the ankle, you could reach your arms forward. How does it feel? Let's finish up back to the starting position. So you're kneeling, shoulders over your hips. Switch out the knees. Right knee comes to meet the left. You're going to do the same thing, just on the other side. Left foot forward, left knee over ankle. Blocks, press into them as you send your right leg long. Now, pay attention to how you feel. Both sides aren't always equal. It's just the way we're built. But kind of sort of strive to make them equal. Because if you think, if one side's a lot easier than the other, that means you're strengthening that side because you're challenging it more. And the other side, as a result, well, that one side's getting stronger, the other side's getting weaker. So try to balance it out. Balance in everything, right? All right, so where are you? Do you want to place your hands on the blocks, shoulders more up, maybe arms reach up? These are all maybes. Maybe arms reach back. Maybe hands come to prayer center and you just hang out here for a bit. Feeling what you feel. That's the most important thing. Let it feel good. Let it feel right. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. Go back to a place where it is right. I'm going to bring my hands to my blocks. I'm going to start to surf. Maybe surf a little or a lot. You decide. The saying, move it or lose it. Isn't that the truth? You've really got to move, and it doesn't get better if you ignore it. And you know that because you're here. Just give your yoga a try. Are you challenging yourself to show up every day? Are you challenging yourself to try something a little different? Biggest thing, just show up. Just show up. If you just show up and sit on your mat, maybe take a child's pose and then final shavasana, it's good. Because every day, add a little bit more, and the magic will happen. All right, let's finish up. Did you do the other side pretty much like you did the first side? I hope so. All right, bring your knees together, standing on your knees, shoulders over your hips. Let's go into a downward facing dog and make our way to the wall so we can do some balancing poses. Hands down, neutral tabletop to begin. Tuck your toes like you're going to do a toes pose, then straighten your knees and send your hips high. Feet hip width distance apart. Hands shoulder width distance apart. Fingers spread wide, press into your hands. Elevate your heels a little bit. So everybody's got to adjust their stance because everybody's height is different. Heels are slightly lifted. Start to pedal out your heels. Reaching one heel toward the earth, then the other. No hurry. Stretch it out. Now your neck. Are you holding on to tension in your neck? I bet you are. We all do. Shake your neck. Look back to your knees, look up to your belly button, let your head hang freely. Push hard into your hands, pedal it out. This is your downward facing dog. Let gravity, for once, do something positive for us. It's decompressing your spine. Breathe. Still your feet. Let your heels drive toward the earth. Breathe here, press into the earth. Think of a string tied to your tailbone, lifting you up to the sky. Let's walk our hands back to meet our feet, or our feet up to meet our hands. With your chin tucked to your chest, slowly roll on up, one vertebra at a time, and come on up to standing. Remove your head, remove your chin from your chest, and let's come to the wall just for a few poses. We're going to do You Will Look Taller. You guys know this one for the most part, and if you're new, something fun to learn. All right, I'm going to take it against a wall today. The wall is your friend for stability. So I'm going to have my bottom up against the wall and try to bring my shoulders back up there too. All right, You Will Look Taller is a pose that is great for your posture. Think of the first letter of each word. Create your body into that shape. A big letter Y for the word you. Press the backs of your hands into the wall. You will. Bring the elbows down, squeezing the backs of the hands to the back of the room. Breathe. You will. Now bring your arms into the shape of the letter L, forward and backward, elbows hugged in, forearms parallel to the earth. Breathe. Chest is lifted, 2 L's here. And then tee out your arms, press the backs of your hands into the wall for the word taller. You can do this against the wall or not against the wall. Sometimes the wall keeps you honest because you say, oh, I really got to go back there farther. But let's do it again, whether on the wall, either on the wall or not. Big letter Y, legs zipped up. Big letter W, will. Big letter L, squeeze the elbows in. Big letter T, and you can pulse your hands back here if you're away from the wall. One more time, third time's the charm. You will, tight squeeze on the back. L for look, T for taller, pulses, arms down by your sides. Close your eyes for a moment. Big breath in, shoulders are over your hips, crown of the head is lengthening up to the sky. Don't you feel taller? Don't you feel like you have better posture? Everything is in a nice alignment. All right, open your eyes. I'm going to come back to the wall, and I'm going to hug my knee in. You don't have to be against the wall. For added balance and stability, you can be against the wall. Press into your left foot, lift your right leg up, interlace your fingers, and hug the knee in. Hold it here. Find your balance, or lean into the wall. Open up the right knee to the right side of the room. Place the sole of the right foot inside the standing left leg. It can be kick-standed, so you're on your toes like a Barbie doll, and press the heel into the leg. You can lift it a little higher or higher still. Just skip over the knee. You don't want to push the foot into the knee sideways. The knee's not designed to go that way. Work the outside of the right knee toward the back of the room or toward your wall. Hands to prayer center. Hold it here. Grow your branches, lifting your arms up toward the sky, bringing them almost into the shape of a letter Y again. Maybe press the backs of your hands toward the back of the room. Chest lifts. Hold here in your tree pose. Using the wall or not. Shake it up. Some days use the wall, some days not. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the right knee to the front of the room. Place the right foot down. Let's do tree pose on the other side. Up against the wall or no wall at all. One's not better than the other. Don't tell yourself, I do it not against the wall, it's better. The wall is plenty challenging because the wall is back there. We tend to lean forward in so many things. All right, root into the other foot. I'm gonna root into my right leg. Left leg, bend in it. Barbie doll toes, or slip it on up higher, or slip it on up higher still. Press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Breathe, lift. Maybe grow your branches. Breathe. Keep your hands on your hips if you want. You can have a chair here and keep your balance there. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe Y out your arms, lift through the chest. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Place the left foot down. You got it. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now let's do the balancing on the left leg. Root into the right leg. Hug the left knee in. Hug it in and hold it in. Maybe you're up against the wall. Breathe. It's all good. Hug it in and do your tree. Breathe. We did it. We hugged it in. We did tree. Finish up that little cycle. Nice job. All right, let's do a one-legged mountain. This will challenge your balance. You can be up against a wall or not. For one-legged mountain, okay, mountain pose, Tadasana. That's when the arms lift up and your fingers are reaching high to the sky. Bring your shoulders back to the wall. If you're against the wall, helps with your alignment. Now let's lift our right leg up. Right leg, bring the knee to about hip height. Hold here. Maybe work yourself a little bit away from the wall and try your balance there, but don't worry, the wall's there to hold you. You got it. This is your one-legged mountain. Draw the toes towards your shin. Lift out of your fingers a little more. Find the length in your hips that you created in that lunge when you went surfing. Breathe. There's your one-legged mountain. Hands to prayer center. Right foot meets left. Let's do it on the other side. Against the wall or not. It's just different. Root into the right foot. Lift the left leg up, up, up. Knee to about hip height. Toes of the left foot drawn toward the shin. Root solidly and strongly into your foundational right leg. Arms lift up in your Tadasana, mountain arms. Hold it here. Breathe. Big breath in and big breath out. Soften in the shoulders. Reach out of your fingers. Lift the knee a little higher so you could balance a block on your thigh. We did that a little bit in previous practices. We'll do it again in the future, but right now focus on the here and now. All right, let's finish. Left leg down, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more use of the wall. Okay, step away from the wall, and the wall's going to support you. It's going to support your foot. Okay, we're going to do a warrior 3. Okay, don't be intimidated by it. Lots of different ways to do warrior. I'm going to use the wall today to help. Step away from the wall, and everybody's going to be a different distance away. Step away from the wall about leg width distance. I'm going to root into my left leg. She's snoring. I'm going to root into my left leg, and I'm going to lift my right leg up. I'm going to lift it up, hands on my hips, and I'm going to hinge forward. I'm going to place the sole of my foot on the wall. So maybe you have to, oh shoot, I got to move closer, got to move further, or whatever. No big deal. Adjust to make life work. Press the sole of the foot into the earth and keep your hands on your hip. Bring your torso parallel to your mat. Maybe reach your arms long, reaching forward. Come into the shape of a letter T. Hold here. That's your warrior 3. Hands back to your hips. Right foot meets left. Let's do the other side as well. Root into your right foot. Use the wall or no wall at all. It's up to you. Root into the right foot. Hinge the weight forward into the right foot. Lift the left leg up, up, up. Press the sole of the left foot into your wall if you want. Hands on your hips. Dial the left hip down. Hold it here. Add in the arms if you want. Reach. You could have a chair in front of you too. There's another way we can do this on the wall. I'll show you another time. Come back and see. Breathe. Lengthen. Hands to hips. Left foot meets right. You did it. The wall. Great prop to use. Don't sweat it. Have fun always in your practice. Hinge forward. Can't touch your toes? That's okay, because you're doing it better now than you were in the beginning of the practice. In addition to that, you will do it better tomorrow and the next day and the next day if you keep coming back. And the opposite's true too. Don't come back and it's going to get harder. Look to your knees. Fold forward. Fold in half like a paperclip. Take your hands to your calves. Hollow out your belly. Fold a little bit more. Finish. Release your hands to your mat. Bend your knees and come have a seat on your heels. Okay, have a seat on your heels. Sit back. This is called Thunderbolt pose. All right, so this pose, maybe in the beginning when you did this, it was really hard. Think of how much, I won't say the pose has gotten easier, but you've gotten stronger. You've let the synovial fluid in your knees, let it flow through your body. Move. The more you move, the better you can move. Kind of a statement of the obvious, right? All right, so you're seated back on your heels in Thunderbolt pose. Let's come out of this and let's do a seated forward fold. Have your blocks close by. We're going to use those in a second. Legs long, toes up toward the sky. Lengthen up, shoulders over your hips. Hold it here. Toes up toward the sky, a little bend in your knees might feel good. Let's add in the arms and lift. Reach through your arms like an extended mountain pose in the arms. Reach, lengthen. Now let's fold forward here. Reach parallel arms to the front of your room. Hi. Reach parallel arms to the front of your room. Reach, reach, reach. Reach. Maybe you reach past your fingers. Oh, she likes this pose. Maybe you'll reach down, grab your ankles, your calves, whatever you can grab. Maybe you grab your toes. Maybe your wrists, you drape them over the tops of your toes and let your palms of your hands come to meet the soles of your feet. Breathe. Now start to look down to your knees. You're folding in half here, kind of like gorilla pose in a standing way, right? When we stand and do gorilla pose like this, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. That's your seated forward fold. Let's take it to a wide-legged forward fold. Spread your legs wide. Legs spread wide. Ooh, breathe. And then place your blocks in between your legs. And blocks have lots of height. Take them to what's right for you. And rest, lots of choices. Rest either your forearms or your forehead on the blocks, whatever works. And you've got multiple blocks. You can remove them and lower down. And if you go too low, you can bring the blocks back up. Breathe. Think with each inhale as lengthening in your spines. You got to find length, right? The decompression. And then exhale, hinge forward, bringing your chest closer to the earth. Big inhale, big exhale. Take it to what feels good for you. Use the blocks however you like. Inhale and exhale. Keep your inhales and exhales long. With the deep, full exhale, you can reach further forward. Maybe today, it's not so far at all. Maybe there's a big bend in the knees, but that's good. It's all good. Use the blocks as your own little personal measurement criteria of how you're progressing. Take a deep breath in, and your deep breath out. All right, let's come out of this pose and let's go into a bridge pose. To do that, legs back together. Keep your blocks nearby. Bring your eye shade and your towel up to the top of your mat, because once we get down here, we don't have to come back up. I'm going to grab a drink of water. How are you doing? You feeling good? You do feel better when you move. You know it. You know it. You just got to do it. Okay, bridge. So come on down. Remember how when we came down earlier, we had our hands at prayer center. Let's do it again. Little bend in your knees. Slowly come on back. Take it as slow as you can. This is another way to measure how your progress is coming along. You know, you try to avoid the clunk at the end. Come on down, all the way down to recline. Once you're down, let's do bridge pose. Bend your knees, bring your heels behind your bottom, ankles underneath your knees, arms down by your sides. When you're ready, push into your feet. Push the weight into your feet so your hips lift up. Hips lift up higher, higher, higher. Press hard into your feet. Wiggle your shoulder blades so they're like underneath your back, and you're like creating a little shelf for your heart. Lift on up into your hips. Maybe interlace your fingers. This is kind of hard. Interlace your fingers and push the pinkies down into the mat, because your tendency is going to want to be the thumb on your bottom. Press them down into the earth. Push harder into your feet. Breathe in your bridge pose. If your fingers were interlaced, Send your arms long on your mat. Roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Take it slowly, one vertebra at a time. Bring your tailbone down last. Work your feet. Wiggle them. Left, right, in, out, toe, heel to the edges of your mat. Let your knees fall to the right. Then let both knees fall to the left. Back and forth a couple of times. Right, left, right. Kind of like a deer pose. Reclined deer in the legs. Let the knees fall one side. They don't have to go all the way down to the ground. Then the other. Let it feel good. Finish up. Toe heel your feet. Back on in. Lift your right leg up. Bring the outside of the right ankle on top of the left thigh. So create like a figure 4 here. Push the inner right thigh open. This is where we're going to stay today. Other days we take it in layers, adding in more. If you want. Today, this is it. Bring the right foot down to meet the left. Let's do figure 4 on the other side. Lift your left leg up, outside of the ankle, on top of your thigh. Push the inner left thigh open and find space in the front of that left hip. Breathe. Another big breath in and a big breath out. Supine twist. Both feet come down. Both legs go long on your mat. Right leg bends. Left heel drives to the bottom of your mat, so you find incredible length in that left side. Bring your right knee, hug it up toward your chest. You can use your towel to hug the right knee in, or no towel at all, using interlaced fingers. Breathe. Hug the knee in, nice tight squeeze. Circle the right ankle around and around in both directions. Ankle mobility and flexibility. Hug it in, squeeze it in. You're strong. Keep the left calf down. Left hand is going to guide the right knee across the midline of your body. Roll onto your left hip. Left hand is encouraging the right knee down to the left side of the body. Keep your right shoulder down and tee out your right arm. Look to the right. Breathe. Twist. Finish. Right hip comes down. Your gaze goes back up to the sky. Interlaced fingers, hug under the right knee. Hug it in nice and tightly. Release the right leg long. Let the right heel drive to the earth, to the bottom of your mat. Left knee bends. Either your interlaced fingers or your towel, hug the left knee in. Shoulders soft and down. Left ankle, circle it this way and that. Don't forget about your ankles. Hug the knee in even more. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of the body as you roll onto your right hip. Right hand encourages the left knee down. Doesn't have to touch the earth, just encourage it down. But keep your left shoulder down. Encourage that deep twist. Left arm extends and look to the left. As best you can. Breathe. Left hip comes down. Gaze goes back up. Interlaced fingers hug underneath your knee. Pull it on in. Release the left leg long. Let's slide both heels up as if they're going through mud, all the way up towards your bottom, and then lift them up nice and slowly because you've got a strong core that's doing that for you. Lift the knees up. Let the left hand hug under the left knee, right hand hug under the right knee. Rock and roll a little bit from side to side. Feel that nice slow back massage. Maybe think of your knees as drawing big circles on the ceiling. And let that feel good in your low back as you rock back and forth. Take the big circles in the opposite direction. Come to stillness if you want, or just keep rocking if that feels good. Keep your tailbone plugged in. Hand underneath the left knee, right hand underneath the right knee. Hug them in towards your armpits. Nice tight squeeze. You can stay here and rock a little bit, or take your hands, slide them down inside your calves, or capture your heels for a pose called Happy Baby. Send the right leg up to the sky while holding onto the heel. Bend that knee and send the other leg high to the sky and alternate. First time's always the hardest. Isn't that true about a lot of things? Just trust yourself. Have the courage to try. Breathe. Extend one heel, then the other. Breathe. finish up. Legs come back together, hands released. Hug the both knees in toward the midline of your body. Elbows hugged in, nice and tight, little yogi ball. Peel your shoulders up. Maybe try to kiss your knees. And then come on down. Release everything you got. Find your towel and or your eye shade. Cover your eyes. Block out the light. The eye shade is wonderful because that little bit of weight feels great. Shoulders, kind of wiggle them towards your spine again so you create that little shelf for your heart. Lift your heart up to the sky. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Legs a little bit spread, heels toward the bottom of your mat. Pinky toes fall to the edges of your mat to externally rotate your hips. Breathe deeply. Maybe sigh it out. Your eyebrows, are they tight? Release the tension there. Imagine your eyeballs resting heavily in their eye sockets. No tension in your cheeks. Your shoulders are away from your ears and resting heavily on the mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Deepen your breaths and just listen to your breath. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stay here longer if you like. If you want to conclude the hour, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles, all different ways. Inhale, reach high overhead and take a big good morning stretch like you do before you even get out of bed in the morning. As you exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll onto one side or the other. Enjoy the getting there. The journey's sometimes the best part. Low arm is bent. That bicep is a pillow for your head. Top shoulder is relaxed. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe keep the eyes closed or not. Maybe use the hands or not, and press on up to a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. Hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Shoulders are over your hips. Your neck is long. The crown of your head lengthens up to the sky. Your hands are at prayer center with the thumbs pressed into your heart. Deep breath in and deep shoulder softening breath out. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. You did it. You are a yogi. Day 1 of this year in the books for your yoga. You did it. Keep doing it. That's just the ticket. Just keep showing up. I'll be here every day for you. I hope you come back. All right, so here's the deal. Stress number you took in the beginning. Remember that number you just arbitrarily picked and said, I'm a stress number 8. Come back to it now. How do you feel? Is the number lower? I sure hope so, and I think I'm sure it is. So it's day 1 of your yoga journey. It's done. Show up. Get better each day. It will happen. We are live every day at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, and our recordings stay up for a couple of days on Facebook and YouTube. We also have a private group. It's called Friends of 316 Yoga, where I post some articles and tell you some inside things. I don't know if you're interested, but join if you want to join. Ask to have access to Friends of 316 Yoga. See you tomorrow. Don't forget, show up. Just show up, even if it's just the 10 minutes. And as you go forward, I wish you love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. That's what I'm working on this year, self-control. Hang in there, guys. Love you. See you on your mats tomorrow. Bye. Hey, Bonnie, that's a good girl. How are you? How's my girl? See you. Bye. You guys want to go play in the snow? Let's go play in the snow. What do you think, huh? New Year's resolutions suck, but your yoga doesn't, as is evidenced by the fact you're still here. I hope you're liking your yoga. Let me know what you like and what you don't like, and we'll customize the yoga just for you. And while you're at it, tell your friends about your yoga. Tell them what we do here at 316. If they'd like to join us, they can join in from the privacy of their own home. Our yoga is free. It's free for anybody and everybody, because I want everybody to make 2023 their best year yet. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can check out our website. It's www.316yoga.com. So come to your mat, forget the resolutions, just show up.